Today's America's Cup Racing is brought to you by Mum Champagne.
It's on. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, Ineos Team UK.
Oh, we knew this was going to be hard, but this is brutal.
What would I take from the English boats? Pretty much nothing.
What they have is nothing special.
Well,
it's payback time. We are those British guys from the round robins.
That was a bit of a Hollywood no penalty.
Protest. All right, guys, calm down. It's good.
If it's anything like that last race was, we went against them, man, bring it on.
Okay. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli are not going away. Now Ineos, boys.
Yeah, we are sniffing revenge on Ineos.
Whoa!
Skidding sideways, skidding hard sideways.
They have blown everybody away, and they've done it in style.
There's plenty of bluster in the America's Cup. You know, let our results do the talking on the water. That's all that counts.
We've been through a lot of hurt over the past couple of months, and we're mad for a fight.
Go for our lay. We're on at the moment.
Well, we don't fear anything. You respect your opponents. You don't fear them. You want to be racing at the highest level against the best. And this is it, so we're excited.
It is on. The excitement is real. The tension ahead of race one of the PRADA Cup final is at fever pitch. Tēnā koutou katoa. Hello and welcome to Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, New Zealand, home to the 36th America's Cup. So many questions may or may not be answered in this opening day of the PRADA Cup finals. How much faster can the challenger of record Luna Rossa go? How much more impressive will Ineos Team UK be after a 20-day break? All will be revealed shortly as the Brits and the Italians get ready to square off on the Waitemata Harbour. The PRADA Cup final is a best of 13 race series. Simply, it's the first team to win 7 races, and they advance to the match against Emirates Team New Zealand. 2 races a day, 1 point for each win. Today is the highest qualifier. Ineos Team UK have chosen starboard entry for race 1, giving Luna Rossa entry into the pre-start first off port. That will then swap over for race number 2. Let's head to the start box.
Just going to try and get up here, that's all that matters.
Ineos has come off the foils, are very close to it. We're so close to this. That's got to be heart in the throat moment for Ben Ainsley right now.
He doesn't have a piece.
Does Spithill hunt him here and try to make him even in a tougher spot, or does he just take the advantage, Shirley? Just go for it. They might be a little early back to the starting line, given their position in the starting box.
Ineos is so vulnerable here. For Luna Rossa, it's all about time and distance.
But they're falling off right now as well. They're falling, so this is really a big lull in the starting area right now. Big advantage to these guys, though. The Italians, they look like they're closest to getting the boat going.
Less than 20 seconds to start. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli back up on the foils. Ineos to the right of your screen, off the foils.
You've got to be careful.
Copy. And we're away. PRADA Cup Finals, Race 1, 2021. And the battle for the right to challenge Emirates Team New Zealand for the old mug starts now. And it's Luna Rossa in command from the go.
They show the British boat over the line early. That's obviously off to the side. They're just going to loop around this mark and go between the starting marks and try to get their boat going.
Yeah, copy.
Plenty of speed. Nice stack, boys. My drop, my rate. Yeah.
They're just getting going here on Ineos. They're getting closer and closer by the second. They had to get up through that starting box, first of all, and now they're doing everything. They're like pumping, rocking, and ooching the boat to try to get the thing to pop out of the water. Really close. 18 knots, Shirley, that's close. Yeah, here we go. Phew.
You need to get 20 knots of boat speed to be able to just lift her up.
And there's the encouraging sign for fans of Ineos Team UK, up and falling. So for them, now it is race on.
Yep. Take your mind back to the other light wind races that we have watched. You know, one boat has often been quite far ahead, fallen off the foils, and it's been a massive restart. This race is only just beginning.
Copy that.
Coming into the top gate for the first time, and it will be Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli with a 560-odd metre lead on Ineos Team UK. It was a lot further away than that, but moments ago. So, as Shirley quite rightly said, there's not over as we get the first rounding of the mark, and it's Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli, the first head downward in race 1. Ineos Team UK now approaching the top gate for the first time. You can understand that that margin has blown out quite simply because of them getting off the foils at the start, but they will finally make the top gate, head towards the right-hand mark and round it and start the chase. Remember, 6 legs. We haven't completed 1 yet. This is halfway through the first leg. And around go Ineos Team UK. 1 minute and 20 behind Luna Rossa.
More breeze coming in 10. Yeah, should build here.
You can hear the voice of Ben Ainsley and Giles Scott talking about more breeze coming. Let's go over to Heli 2, see if they're right about seeing more breeze. Nathan Alleridge, can you see more breeze?
Yeah, definitely from up here looks like it's starting to fill in and be a bit more stable across the course. The other thing that I can see from the helicopter, which I haven't been able to see until today, is the difference in these sails. Luna Rossa definitely look like they're running a deeper sail setup. You can really see that when you're above them and looking down, whereas Ineos seem to be running a flatter, bit more static setup, and I think that's giving Luna Rossa an advantage, being able to generate a bit more power in this lighter wind.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli now about to complete the first leg of second leg of 6 in this opening race of the PRADA Cup, and around the left-hand mark they go at the bottom gate for the first time. So 2 legs done, 4 to go for Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli.
Very strong on the left. We are on the left.
Boundary penalty being given to Ineos.
Cruel.
Wow.
A cruel boundary penalty. Well, the fact is that it's done by machine. It is not done. It is not done by man here. So there is no speculation there. They actually came off their foils there briefly for a second as well.
Turning up to 10.
The lead is blown out somewhat. Falling off the foils is not going to help. Was it 1 minute and 20 seconds at the top mark? And now it's going to be a little bit more. But around they will go. 1 minute and 30 seconds in deficit to Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli. Crazy old day.
Okay, so Shirley, small sample size here, but you know, we talked a little bit about this race and the light air. Can we kind of officially say now that maybe at the bottom end of the range, Ineos is a bit vulnerable?
I mean, we were expecting gains. This boat has been in the shed for much of the last 3 weeks, having upgrades. I think we were expecting some light wind gains, and I'm not sure we're saying that. But on the other hand, Luna Rossa's always looked good in these conditions, and they've made upgrades. And when you look at Luna Rossa, she just seems a little bit slippier. She seems to be able to escape those real trouble moments.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli around the top gate for the second time. And the one thing that we've talked about a lot and have noticed, and it's carrying on, the smoothness of them doing their work, but also the communication on board.
There is no question about it that they have had a breakthrough on their communication, but they have not been really under pressure yet.
Okay, 2, 1, clear away. Coming away. Okay, easy.
Ineos surrounding the top gate for the second time. 1 minute and 54 seconds behind Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. It's a long way to go, but as you can tell just by the calmness in the voice of Sir Ben Ainsley, it is what it is. Keep doing your job, and away we go.
How's it look out to boundary? Yeah, it looks slightly lighter, if anything.
There's been much in the sailing press this week about this head-to-head beauty versus the beast, which is a little bit harsh, but you have to say, I mean, look at Luna Rossa now in light winds.
Come on, Shirley, that's a beautiful boat.
Everything just looks right.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli at the bottom gate to complete the fourth leg. 2 to go. And this opening race of the PRADA Cup final series. Remember, you win 7, you go to the big show, the match against Emirates Team New Zealand.
3, 2, 1, 4 down.
I think they did. Nathan, they just think there's a little more breeze out there right now, right? It just seems like a little more comfortable for these guys.
Yeah, Ken, it's definitely, the breeze is definitely building, and you know, if you look further up the course, there's a cloud line that's starting to lift, and that's allowing the air to start to push in.
Ineos Team UK, they finally get to the bottom gate for the last time, basically, and will be the finish, and they're 1 minute 56 seconds, 57 seconds in the deficit.
They're thinking about the next race right now, right? This one didn't go our way. Let's start thinking about race 2. The good news is, talk about elbows out and a little bit of a slugfest. Breeze coming on. We may not see that flukiness, that those touchdown problems in the pre-start, and have ourselves a closer race.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli approaching the top gate for the last time in this opening encounter of the PRADA Cup finals in 2021. And around she goes and heads home.
Nothing real obvious on these boats that's a big game changer that they've changed in the last couple weeks. So these bits and pieces, like everybody, like all of us have thought about, these bits and pieces are small now. They're small. We're not seeing big changes to the boats.
Ineos Team UK coming to the top gate for the final time.
2, 1.
They will take this one on the chin and round the top gate. On the left-hand mark, 2 minutes and 3 seconds behind Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
Okay, another 5.
Yeah, sounds good, mate.
You just heard Jimmy Spittle say, yeah, this is good, mate. Yes, it is good for Luna Rossa in the opening encounter of the PRADA Cup final 2021. Luna Rossa takes first blood against Ineos Team UK. Let us go on board Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, talk to Francesco Bruni. Francesco, congratulations. One done. The smiles say it all.
Yeah, we are very happy, obviously. One is done. And yeah, the next one will be a very different race, I think. The wind is increasing, and it's not just about staying on the faults, but it will be a different race for sure.
Francesco, congratulations. Talk to you later. Another race coming up.
Thank you, guys. Forza, forza, forza.
Yes, forza, forza. Let us go on board Ineos Team UK and talk to Sir Ben Ainsley. You have to take that one on the chin, but the conditions looking a lot better, Ben.
Yeah, it's one of those days. Sea breeze building. It's looking nicer. It was nice the second half of that race, and yeah, it should be good for this next race.
Race 1 was over before it began. The Italians capitalised on one small mistake, dominated the entire race and took first blood. Race 1 of the PRADA Cup final goes to Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Don't go away, there's more fight to come. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli finished the PRADA Cup semi-final with form, confidence and momentum. They clearly have their eye on the prize, taking first point in the PRADA Cup final. Can they make it 2 out of 2? Or will stronger winds come to the aid of Ineos Team UK? Let's head to the start box for race 2. Ineos Team UK have port entry allowed in at 2 minutes and 10 seconds. It's gone past that, but they are rocketing into the pre-start. And now we might see what we've been waiting for. Elbows out. You can see Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli now in on the 2-minute mark, and in they come. So wait, watch, and listen, because this is going to get good.
Geometry, time and distance, or hand-to-hand battle. That's you pick it up pretty early on in the sequence. It depends on where all these guys are going to go. Do they throw some different looks that we haven't even seen yet?
Yeah, he turns. He's staying high. He's going to get on our hammer here. Okay. 14 boundary, killing 40. He now turns down, Ben.
Okay, board down.
Crossing. Eyeballing behind the main.
Okay, he's early.
He's early. That means they'll probably go behind. That means they're going to go behind and push.
Killing 20.
We've seen how powerful it is to start to windward with a gap. Then you get to the boundary really in a great spot.
Charge coming up.
Charge.
Okay, let's charge the battery.
That's good.
Coming down.
Is this enough of a gap?
All the way.
Race 2 is a go in the PRADA Cup Final Series 2021. What a start.
A little more juice in that pre-start, Shirley, but this is the exciting time for me, that first cross. The boundary coming up. Who gets that first cross when they do tack over onto port next time?
3, 2, 1. Stand by to the left here.
Copy. 2 order 1.
Nice.
He's going. Building speed.
Yep. Good pressure here.
My leg, my trap.
I think we go all the way to boundary, Ben.
Yeah, copy.
Okay.
Giles Scott says, let's go all the way to boundary. We're going to have our first good split here, Nathan. Any side of the race course that you like more than the other?
If I had to put any money on it, I'd say the left-hand side of the course looks a little bit windier than the right-hand side of the course. So this is going to be really interesting when they come back together. That was such a tight start. And it's all about this. Ineos, I think, have better pressure, but Luna Rossa are going to come back on starboard tack.
In previous racing, we've seen the Italian perhaps have a little bit of extra height on the upwind. I was surprised that they couldn't live in that starting position a little longer.
He's going behind us. He's going behind us.
First cross to the Italians. Starboard tack advantage came across. Giles Scott grabs the wheel on those dips. Did you hear that? That was interesting.
I mean, it looks like the Italians are just a click faster, Stephen.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Yeah, let's just say a click ahead of Ineos Team UK, rounding the left-hand mark at the top gate for the first time. You remember back in race number 1, the advantage was 1 minute and 20 seconds. Well, think again, different ball game, folks, in race number 2. That advantage is now just 11 seconds.
Board down.
Great to look at the speeds going downwind, and there's not a heck of a lot between them. Took a little while for Ineos to get up to around that 40-45 knot mark, and we're talking around 52 miles an hour, Shirley.
But Prada have extended. I mean, look at the how many meters. We're now nearly at 300 meters. They've done well on this run. Partly, I think, protecting that left-hand side of the course that that Nathan favoured so much.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, bottom gate for the first time. They'll take what we can see here is that we'll call it the left-hand mark, and they'll go around. They will fly around. And the one thing we have noticed as this regatta has progressed, not just this one, but the whole regatta, the smoothness with which they are going around and doing their moves. It was 11 seconds at the top mark. It's going to come out just a little bit, but this is well far from over. Both boards down for Ineos Team UK, 17 seconds now.
Leads come back in a little bit here, over 100 meters gain back. They still like the left. Nathan likes the left. Everybody likes the left. Anderson, Ineos has not obviously lost a race up until today this year. Are you surprised at what you see right now, or is this kind of making sense to you?
I mean, there's a little bit that's surprising to see them. They're exiting a fair number of their maneuvers, especially their tacks with a little bit of leeward heel, and their rate of acceleration out of their tacks definitely seems to be a fair bit less than what you're seeing on Luna Rossa. Luna Rossa's just made a massive jump in how clean that they're sailing around the track.
Obviously, the Italians coming in now to the top gate to complete the halfway mark, shall we say, of this second race, race number 2 of the PRADA Cup Finals. They took race 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds. They are in the lead in race number 2, and they're heading downwind on leg number 4 of 6. But, you know, this is the crazy thing about these boats. You just don't know. As we see Ineos Team UK, they are firing into the top gate as well.
Well, we talk now about marginal gains, but I mean, I think we're seeing a step up by the Italian outfit. I mean, this is impressive. We did not expect it to be so clean and so smooth and so much faster.
And the lead by Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli sitting around the 280 mark. They haven't been behind all day. Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli about to complete leg 4 of 6. Bottom gate heading upwind for the last time.
Windy enough now, Stephen, that they're going around that leeward gate with both boards in to avoid that sideways skid. So the breeze is still on, Nathan, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up. This is like the perfect breeze for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah, Ken, the breeze is just beautiful out here now, and you're spot on there. The last time Luna Rossa went around the bottom mark, they did a single board only, and that was that leeway skid, that big slow arc where I think they lost quite a few meters. It's definitely windy enough now for 2 boards down around these bottom marks. It gives the boats that extra grip, and I haven't really understood it until I got in the helicopter, and now I can see from above how much grip they get with that windward foil and how the boat shoots upwind out of the bottom mark as opposed to sliding sideways. You can see why all the teams are doing it.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli sitting around 33 knots, but a lead of 260 meters, as you see it on our screen with our virtual eye. Just makes understanding this match racing, which it is match racing, so much better. We didn't expect match racing. We were talking about this a lot earlier, but this is quite simply cool.
Yeah, match racing. It's real racing. That the upwind starts has clearly kind of changed the game back in a very interesting direction, at least for us diehard sailors. We see the intricacies or the details, and yeah, it makes it more fun. There's no question about that.
Heading towards the top gate on the stadium course for the final time in race number 2. Much heavier winds for both these boats. It was a light air race in the first one, won by that beautiful boat there in Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli. And here they go, Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli. They will head into the top gate for the final time. And they are simply honking that boat. They are going.
Here we go, boys.
One foil this time. It was 2 at the bottom gate, single foil this time, and they're on their way home. What a sight.
Good rounding, boys.
That's a relief rounding, right? That was Jimmy Spithill saying that was our last chance to really kind of have a major here. Breeze is up, no question. That he was kind of relieved to get around that thing.
2, 1.
Ineos Team UK get around the top gate for the final time.
You know, we didn't know what the performance gains would have been from both teams, and the teams didn't know what the performance gains were either. And I think the interesting thing about this series is actually it could go on a long time. So we will see gains and changes as this series progresses.
Also, better current over here down the side.
Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli. This is the final stage of race number 2 of the PRADA Cup Finals in 2021. They got it in race number 1 by 1 minute and 52 seconds, and I don't think anyone prior to this race series starting would have picked that Luna Rossa PRADA Pirelli would take a 2-0 lead in the PRADA Cup Final Series, but that is what they have done. Luna Rossa 2-0. In boxing parlance, Jimmy, that's a couple of good rips either side, but it's not a knockout blow, but nice way to start the series.
Yeah, it was a good day. I thought the boys sailed really well on board. Still obviously a few things I think we need to sharpen up on, but great job by the team. Boat was performing very, very well.
Jimmy, what a great day, a massive congratulations. Let's talk pace. It looked like you had a click of pace, both upwind and downwind. How surprised were you by that?
Look, we know we've got a great boat, we've got a great package here, and a very good team backing us up on the shore. So we're confident in our boat. And but having said that, we still know there's quite a bit there on the table. As I said, we made a few mistakes today, and we'll definitely be going back to try and sharpen up on those for tomorrow.
Let's go on board Ineos Team UK. Sir Ben Ainsley waiting to talk us through what went down in race number 2. Ben, you said you've got to keep pushing. Can you break down that race for us?
Yeah, it's pretty even start and close first beat. The Italians did a good job. They just sailed that slightly bit faster, a little bit better, obviously around the course. So yeah, credit to them. We'll have to go away and think about how we can get a little bit more pace and look at some of the things we didn't get quite right.
So 2-0. The Italians make their intentions known. They are here to claim the PRADA Cup and win the right to take on the defenders. But count the Brits out at your peril. Tomorrow is another day, and Ineos Team UK will be looking for payback.
Today's America's Cup Racing is brought to you by Spark.